All three have agreed to take part in some exercises to try and control their anxiety. So I've come to the University of Bristol to meet psychotherapist and lecturer Dr. Nilu Ahmed to find out how they can do it. She's seen firsthand how anxiety has become more common since COVID.
The messages have been changing, the guidelines are changing, and instead of having a national response, we're having each of the home countries being very different in their response, and it becomes really stressful for people. COVID is completely ambiguous, it's completely new, it's completely unpredictable. So our anxiety levels and our worries have just gone through the roof with that. And our brain responds in a very evolutionary way. We go back to caveman days, we're fight or flight syndrome. So we either want to go out and attack it, which we can't do, or we want to run away, pretend it doesn't happen, but of course it is happening. And the other part of our brain is telling us it's happening, it's dangerous, it's scary, you have to do something about it. So there's a lot going on in our heads.
I was chatting to my mum the other day. She's been feeling anxious, but she also described being home as being trapped at the moment. I thought that was just so sad.
As you say, it's a family home. It's the place that you feel safe. You come home at the end of the day, you're relaxing. So if that's now feeling a bit of a place where you're feeling trapped and you can't get out of, that will increase that sense of anxiety and feeling unsafe.
Dr. Ahmed is going to teach Amy, Olu and Shannon some anxiety-busting techniques. The first is box breathing, where you take deliberate, slow breaths.
Breathe in for 3, hold for 3, breathe out for 3, hold for 3.
Next is a technique called grounding, diverting your brain's attention from your anxiety by concentrating your mind on very real objects around you, from trees to shop signs.
So when you're out and about, if you're feeling a little bit worried about something, focus your eye on 3 things you can see around you. Name those things, because again, that trains your brain to move away from the anxiety that you're feeling.
Now we're going to really road test those techniques in a shopping centre. Dr. Ahmed and I will be observing from a safe distance, whilst Amy, Olu and Shannon confront their anxieties. Olu's first, seeing how he feels inside a busy shop.
The thing that makes me tense is watching people just like eyes glazed over walk towards you.
He's talking about people just not looking where they're going. And that, again, is something that's not in his control. You can't control people around you.
There's a couple of people in the aisle at the moment, so I'm just going to stand over here.
What I like about Olu is that when he's doing this, he's describing what's going on, and that's actually grounding.
Jules, it's probably making me nervous thinking about how nervous I am.
That's it. That's how anxiety works. You worry about worrying. His narrative is telling me that he needs to pay attention to himself, and that's great. That's self-care right there.
Next up is Shannon.
So I'm just out on the main road right now. There's quite a lot of people coming up next to me, which makes me quite nervous. Okay, I was doing fine. Now I'm quite anxious. I can feel my hands going up quite a bit. I can hear guitar music.
It's very good use of grounding from her.
I feel a bit better after monitoring the things that I was talking about. I don't feel as anxious.
It can be anything then.
Yeah, absolutely anything. Because grounding isn't just what you see, it's what you hear, what you can feel.
All good so far. But how about Amy? She's heading towards a busy street.
So this is going to raise her anxiety now as she's going into more people.
My heart rate seems to kind of go up a little bit.
That's a sign of anxiety, isn't it, that heart rate increasing?
So I'm going to try the technique now.
Okay, the breathing.
The box breathing.
Right, the breathing, that's great. So that's the 3, in for 3, hold for 3.
That's actually does feel a little bit calmer now.
That's fantastic.
Good student.
It's just reminding yourself to do it when you are anxious, and then it will retrain the brain.
Well, what do you think?
I thought they did brilliantly. I was so pleased that they remembered those techniques.
I wasn't sure if this was going to work, because stopping somewhere and breathing to yourself could make you feel a bit self-conscious. But I suppose we've got to realise that we live in a different world right now. So if you are sat at home and thinking, there's no way I can go out again, it just goes to show with a few techniques and a bit of preparation, it can be done.